Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Steve. This is The Fandom Show. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, what kind of idiot puts up a Halloween episode on November the 4th? Well, apparently, this kind of idiot. I planned to put it up last week, of course, Halloween week. Did not get a chance to. I've been busy lately, have not been able to give this channel the attention that it needs, but I did want to do something for Halloween, so here I am, just a few days late. And actually, on that note, I was trying to figure out what to do for Halloween, and my first thought was to do a video about, okay, who's the greatest horror movie icon of all time? And I thought, well, you know what? There's probably dozens of people on YouTube that have done that exact same thing. So I thought, okay, well, maybe we could rank the Friday the 13th movies from worst to best, something like that. No, there's probably a bunch of people on YouTube that have done that too. So then I had the idea of, okay, why don't we talk about a Mount Rushmore of horror characters, horror villains. And, I mean, not a bad idea. A lot of people on YouTube do these things where it's like, okay, so a Mount Rushmore is basically, what would your top four things be, right? Because there's four presidents on Mount Rushmore, so when you talk about Mount Rushmore video games or pro wrestling or Star Wars, so for example, Mount Rushmore of Star Wars could be Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, R2-D2, and Darth Vader as four of the most prominent characters of that franchise. So in terms of horror icons, when you're doing Mount Rushmore, would be top four. But then I thought, well, it's kind of pretty obvious, right? Because your top three in no particular order would have to be Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, and Michael Myers. So it's really just a matter of who you would want to plug in as the fourth. Personally, I might pick a Pinhead from Hellraiser, which is sort of an odd choice, but I just think he's really cool looking and kind of scary looking, so that would be, my pick. But again, is it that much fun choosing a Mount Rushmore when you already know three of the names and most people aren't going to fight you on it? Which, I don't want to get into a big fandom fight on this show. I just thought it'd be cool to do something with horror movies. But if it's all been done, where the heck do you go? So, I don't really know, but I do appreciate the impact that the horror movie franchises have had on our culture. Most of the major franchises, if you can believe it, have been around close to 40 or 50 years now. If you think I'm lying, Google it. I'm telling you, it is absolutely true. We getting old, folks. We getting old. But speaking of horror movies, at a Comic-Con in September, I got a chance to meet Kane Hodder. I did a photo op with him in costume as Jason with my nephew. Check it out. That was a lot of fun. And we also did a QA with him, which was really neat to hear him tell stories about the movies he's been in and things like that. Some people don't like QAs at Comic-Cons. I think they're kind of fun, They're a little more intimate with celebrities. You get a chance to ask them questions, especially at a smaller con, which this was. But that was really, really cool. Now, for Halloween this year, I decided that I needed a cool costume and, I've got a gray beard. So, what kind of costume could I have for a gray beard? My first thought was Gandalf, right? But I'm like, my beard ain't long enough for Gandalf. Which, I could wear a fake beard, but I'm like, I don't know if I really want to do that. So, idea number 2 turned out to be Obi-Wan Kenobi from the original trilogy, Star Wars. Check it out. I had a really, really fun time in that costume, and it casts an amazing shadow, too. I wish I had a picture, but it totally makes me look like I'm straight out of a Star Wars movie with the shadow when I have the full robe on and everything. It's fan-freaking-tastic. This is the lightsaber that I had with my costume. It's actually a Darth Vader edition lightsaber, which is kind of funny using that to play Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? But that's what I had, so that's what I used. Let me go ahead and turn it on here. So as you can see, it makes the noise, and if you were hit it against something, it would make that noise, and you can do blaster shots to deflect blasters. This is a high-quality replica lightsaber. You can't tell from the video how heavy it is, but believe me, it does have a little bit of weight, and I absolutely wanted it that way. Combat ready this thing is. This blade is designed to take a bit of a beating. I could have a legit lightsaber stunt fight with this with somebody, and it would absolutely do the job. And of course, I'm on a white blade right now, but you can do basically any color of the rainbow, and there's some cool effects on it. I can do a candy cane blade if I want to, but I'm very pleased with this investment. It's done me well. Went great with the Halloween costume this year, and I got many more plans with it. So, if you get a chance to pick up a good quality lightsaber like this and you're a Star Wars fan, please do. Just set that down right there. Been wanting something like that since I was a kid. So my 10-year-old self finally has his dream item, at least one of them. So that's pretty cool. moving on, I know I haven't put up a video in a while, but I've still been collecting things. Obviously, you can see behind me my collection continues to grow and grow and grow. So I thought I'd show you a few of my new additions. So here's the first thing. They say Stranger Things. I have this upside down, don't I? Yep, that's totally me. This is a Stranger Things advent calendar, and if you don't know what an advent calendar is, I mean the Christmas version, there's 24 little doors in the calendar, and behind each one is a little chocolate, a little candy, and you count down from December 1st to December 24th, which the next day obviously being Christmas. Same idea with this. There's candy behind each of the doors. There's 11 doors, right? 11. If you don't get it, ask somebody that's younger, but a major character on the show. And it's meant to count down the debut of the next season of Stranger Things, which, thank goodness, is coming up very, very soon. I believe November 26th is the date. I gotta tell you, I was a little disappointed when I saw the first trailer for it, because it sort of seemed, I don't know, it didn't really catch my fancy for some reason. I don't know why, because I love the show, but that particular trailer, I was just like, It just seems like they're kind of rehashing stuff from previous seasons, and it didn't really get me excited. Good news is, they dropped a recent trailer this week, and that trailer was really, really good. So if you're not stoked for Season 5 after watching that trailer, I don't know what to tell you, but I'm very excited about it. I hope that Stranger Things does a great job in landing the balloon, so to speak, and closing out the series, but we'll find out soon enough. Fortunately, even though we're splitting up the series into 2 parts this time around, we don't have to worry about waiting too long, because it should, I believe, all be wrapped up by New Year's Day, so that's going to be a ton of fun. Next up, I have a John Cena action figure. You can't see it, but there's some shelves almost directly behind my chair here, and I've got a bunch of action figures and stuff up on those, including a selection of wrestling figures. John Cena is wrestling his final WWE match next month. December 12th, I believe, is the date. We don't know who the opponent's going to be yet. They're running a storyline right now where they're holding this tournament to determine who Cena's final opponent is going to be. Hopefully it's somebody good. But this is the John Cena. The last time is now. Back over here, sees 2025. Farewell, basically. John Cena's wrapping up this year, but this figure is to mark that occasion. So in just a little bit, the figure's going to go on my wall with my other action figures. But I did pick this one up recently because, I mean, John Cena is one of the most iconic wrestlers who ever was. And basically everybody who's met him says he's a really good guy. He's done a ton of stuff for like Make-A-Wish and charitable stuff. Supports the troops. Just really, he's an icon. So he's wrapping up next month, at least as far as wrestling goes. I'm sure he'll still be doing acting gigs because that's what these guys do. And we'll be seeing plenty of him. Next up, this is really cool. I gotta show you this. So this is, do I have this backwards upside down? Yes, I do. Again, totally me, right? So I got some classic Lego sets here. Both of these are from the early 90s, and to see sets like this that are still in the box is absolutely incredible, because this stuff is almost 30 years old now. Yes, if you can believe it, it's been almost 30 years since the 1990s, or more than 30, depending on what year we're talking about. Anyway, almost 30 years old these sets are. I remember having these sets when I was a kid, particularly this one, and I know I still have the parts for this set in a big Lego bin that's right behind me here. I'm pretty sure I have this one on the bottom too. I'm not 100% sure, but it's cool looking, and I wanted to grab them. These are both less than $10, by the way, so good deal. Pick those up at a secondhand store. I may not build these. I may just leave them in the box and just have them kind of as mementos, because it's very cool and representative of stuff that I would have had back in my childhood. But one thing that I will build is this. I went ahead and picked this up. This is a Lego Nintendo Game Boy. Very, very cool, and it comes with, you can see them on the side there, game cartridges that you can build. Not a functioning Game Boy, but just a model Game Boy that you can build and have on display, so that will go great with my ever-growing Lego display, and I'm looking forward to building that. The first Lego set that I pre-ordered, and get this, they actually accidentally released it early. There was a Costco, I think like Pennsylvania or somewhere, that got it before everybody else did. So I could have had it back in September, but since I'd actually pre-ordered this one, had to wait till it got here in October. But you know what? It's all good. Haven't built it yet anyways. I will soon, but I'm not honestly that butthurt that it came out early, because some things I don't mind waiting for. Other news. Came out today that Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz are teaming up for a new Mummy movie, and I'm very, very excited about this, because by far my 2 favorite movies in the Mummy franchise are the first and second ones that they were in. So I'm cautiously optimistic this next Mummy movie is going to be very, very good. I love Brendan Fraser in the role as Rick O'Connell, so I'm really excited that that is going to go down. And again, Hopefully it turns out well. There's a new Ghostbusters movie. It's going to start shooting in the spring. There are rumors that some kind of teaser or something might come out this month. I don't really know what that would be because I haven't put anything to film yet, but we'll see. They might give us a little something, fingers crossed. On a personal note, I may have an opportunity to go to Star Trek Las Vegas next year, which is a big annual Star Trek convention they have every year in Las Vegas. I'm a huge Trekkie, especially The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine, but the original series as well. Got my Spock figure here. Actually, that's Evil Spock, note the goatee. I didn't realize it was Evil Spock when I grabbed it. I just thought, oh, Spock Funko Pop. That's cool. Grabbed it. So, I also have some Star Trek stuff on my shelf over here, and I've recently begun, again, collecting these Playmates Star Trek The Next Generation figures. I had a ton of these when I was younger. I lost them all over the years, but I started collecting them again. The cool thing about those is they're actually quite inexpensive. I've bought 10 figures lately, and I think I've paid maybe $8 or $9 a pop for them, which is pretty good for action figures, especially ones from 25, 30 years ago. But I've started collecting them again. I got a little display on a shelf. It's not done yet. My action figure displays are constantly changing, constantly evolving, as any true nerd would do it, right? Nothing is ever completely finished in our world because, hey, where's the fun in that? But yeah, I'm hoping to go to Star Trek Las Vegas next year, which would be really fun because I always get a lot of the big names from Star Trek to show up to these things. There's quite a few that I've never met before and I would like to, so that would be absolutely a whole ton of fun. That's about all I got for now. I've got some good stuff coming down the pipeline. I know I've said this before, but my commitment is to be more regular with doing updates to this channel and putting out more great content. I do thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you again real soon.